la entrevista que ya vamos con ella ahora mismo, el Hall of Famer. Esto es, señores, para que usted sepa de los pocos Hall of Famers que firmó para jugar campo corto y terminó siendo lanzador en las Grandes Ligas y siendo uno de los mejores, Baerga, en lo que hizo en las Grandes Ligas.
De verdad que tuve la oportunidad de jugar con él en el 2009 y de verdad que fue impresionante cómo su preparación antes, después del juego y cómo podía sacar de out sin tirar más de 92 millas. Era lo impresionante. No sacar de out, cerrar partido, que Parillito y yo hemos hablado lo que hay que tener sangre para cerrar una novena entrada.
Bueno, así que, señores, si usted no sabe a quién vamos a estar entrevistando en la noche de hoy, aquí tiene un lado.
The Padre bullpen is the closer, their ace, Trevor Hoffman.
Well, here we go. Trevor Hoffman coming on. The bells are ringing here at the Q. Trevor goes for his 300th career save. And a high fly ball toward the right field line. Mike Jarr coming on. And Trevor Hoffman has his 300th career save.
On the ground, Counsell, and there it is, Trevor Hoffman, a milestone number 600.
And here we go. We got our man here, our special guest for today, Hall of Famer Trevor Hoffman. Bienvenido a Me Gusta los Deportes junto a Baerga y sus amigos. Saludos, amigo.
How you doing, my friend?
How are you?
We're doing good. We're doing good. Palito thought that you know a lot of English, but he don't know a lot of Spanish. He know English. Spanish he don't know that much. Un poquito. It's an honor for. I know. It's an honor for us to have you here, man. Yeah, you know, when I talk about you, I talk very highly. I had the opportunity to play with you in 1999, and I was something special. It was for a little time because then I got traded back to Cleveland. But you know what? Watching you come to in the 980 was something special. And then your career, you know, show everybody, you know, what kind of pitcher you was, the heart that you have. And today we're going to talk about that. Where you born, brother?
Well, I'll be honest with you. Getting a chance to see that beautiful video that you put together reminds me, and I wish that I could have gone from my 300 save to 600 save that fast, but it wasn't in a matter of 2 seconds. It was a lot of work, and I was fortunate to have a tremendous teammates like you, Carlos, on my side, and to help me through the ups and downs of this big league game and this big league lifestyle. And I very much appreciate you as a teammate, and thank you for all the lessons that I learned from you.
Thank you.
All right. So, Trevor, you were born in California, you say?
I was. Orange County, California, just right down the street from Disneyland.
You were already living Disney. I mean, growing up. I know. Growing up, because I know you do have a brother that played in the big leagues too. Before you started, I mean, but growing up, was it baseball all the thing that you guys did growing up, or there was other sports you guys tried back then?
No, when I grew up, I was the remote control. So my brothers sat on the couch and they put me next to the television, and I had to turn the channels to what they wanted to watch. So that was the start of my adolescence career. I got a chance to go to all their games in high school. Admired their exploits and their teams and then what they tried to do growing up. I only have one kidney, so I wasn't able to play contact sports.
Yes.
So I tried to do my best in baseball, and I got a chance to play a little bit of basketball.
That's what I was going to ask you about that. I read that when you're born, you have to go to a surgery. They keep you out, you know, to do a lot of athletic stuff. So you was at home. And how you got that kind of body that you have? Because you was, hey, this guy right here was one of the stronger guys that I ever played with, Parillito. His body was unbelievable. And you grow up, you know, when you start playing baseball?
Well, I was fortunate. Again, I go back to my childhood with my big brothers and great parents that humbled me and said, you work hard for everything you get. And honestly, it just was, that's how it was in the family. You go and you support your family, you work hard, and don't take anything for granted. And because of those foundational experiences, I feel like it was an opportunity to, try and do your best. Along the way, I was lucky to have great coaches. I went to a junior college where I got a chance to play with Scott Pickler in California, and then University of Arizona with Jerry Kendall. And then, honestly, as I went through the pro ranks, I think of some of my tremendous Latin coaches that had a great influence on me, like Jose Cardinal in the Cincinnati Reds organization, Cookie Rojas and Veda Pinson in the Florida Marlins organization. And then ultimately, when I got over to San Diego, just everything I learned really helped me out in the big leagues.
Okay, Trevor, I mean, when you got drafted, I mean, your mind was set to be the next something because you were not a pitcher. You wanted to be the next something. I mean, tell us about how this worked out with you, starting as a position player, and then, who was the person that decided to move you, or what happened there?
Well, the big thing in that video there was a big league infielder in that video, and that was JT Snow at first base, not Trevor Hoffman at shortstop.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. So honestly, I was lucky to make it to the Reds. As you see some highlights there, some footage. But I mean, I can't even hold a bat the right way. Look at that. No wonder I was destined for the mound. They're going to give that guy the sacrifice bunt every time.
That's true.
but you know what? Cincinnati Red take you in the 11th round, and then you sign, with the Cincinnati Red. You went there, but then they tell you that they want to, after 1 year, they want to move you to a base, and they offer you to be a catcher. They offer him to be a catcher or a pitcher, and it was like deciding, what they're gonna do and stuff like that. And did you like somebody? When you was a little kid, as a pitcher, did you want to come up and do it?
Honestly, it was my father that had a lot to do with me not pitching as an adolescent. He said, I don't want you to have the opportunity to run into someone who will abuse your arm. In Little League, you go from 40 feet, and then you immediately at 13 years of age, you go to the big league size fields. And he said, you know what, save your arm in case you need to rely upon it. And fortunately, I didn't go to catching when I was a year into the minor leagues because Jimmy Lett goes, I can't watch this kid hit anymore. I want to see what he can do on the mound. So I was fortunate to go to the pen, figure out how to pitch and throw strikes. And ultimately, I felt like that was my calling, and I was fortunate to realize it's not easy to hit. And so I didn't give away anything to a hitter. I was aggressive on the mound. I threw hard at the time. I hadn't developed my changeup, and I think the mindset that it takes as a regular, when you take that to the pitcher's mound, it can benefit you.
Okay, my man, where were you when you get that phone call that says, hey, Trevor, you're going up?
Well, actually, it was going down. We were in Melbourne, Florida. I got taken from the Reds to the Marlins, and we trained in Florida, and we were the first team to ever go south after you leave your ballpark or your hometown in spring training. And with the Marlins, we went south to Miami. And I didn't believe it until I was on the plane, until that sucker took off, and until I heard the wheels go up. I turned to Scott Pose, a teammate of mine that I had in Billings, Montana. And we looked across each other. He goes, we're actually in the big leagues. And so I was lucky, really fortunate to be a part of an inaugural team in Miami that gave me a chance. Again, like I mentioned, Cookie and Veda, part of that coaching staff, but Marcel Latchman and Renee Latchman were brothers, and they were manager and pitching coach. And they really gave me an opportunity. And it was an opportunity because we were a bunch of misfits from other organizations trying to come together. And it worked out for a young kid that really didn't know a lot about pitching at the time, but was getting an opportunity at the highest level to learn, to be aggressive, to be a part. And I'm very fortunate to learn from a great veteran at the time, and Brian Harvey. Brian Harvey was my mentor in Florida. I got a chance to know what it was like to go out and pitch with your hair on fire in the Cincinnati organization with Rob Dimple, Norm Charlton, and Randy Myers. And I'm going, hey, man, I got both ends here. I got guys that got hair on fire, and I got the most easygoing country guy in the world. Maybe there's a fit for a guy in the middle, so it worked out okay.
I was going to ask you about that because I read that Brian Harvey was the guy that that teach you how to close game. and stuff like that. Brian Harvey pitched in Puerto Rico. I think that he won the MVP. Yeah, Barillito? He was the MVP in Puerto Rico and the league in Puerto Rico. He was nasty. Oh my God. I never seen anybody with that split finger. He always put a softball in between. You remember? He put a softball like that. And he walked like that the whole day. We are both in there. Wow. I never see a split so nasty like that one. He was a special guy that we played with.
It was nasty, but it was hard nasty. I mean, he had 95 on the Heat, but his split was 92 and then dropped off like a changeup. I'm like, no wonder nobody can hit it.
And they got that Chu Manchu face.
Yeah. He played with us in Puerto Rico, man. He was special. Yep. Very special guy. That was special. Then you went from to be a starter, you went to be a closer. You know, after that, in 29 appearances, you got the first 2 saves in there, and it was a great experience. But then you got traded to San Diego. How you when you get that trade? Because sometimes, you know, us as a player, we want to stay with the team that sign us, or they give us the opportunity to come up to the big leagues. How you got that trade?
Hey, man. Who in the right mind wants to leave Miami when they are going bananas for the Marlins and you're getting a rental car to drive around for free? Why would you want to go to San Diego where they're booing you before you get there and they're tearing the team down? It's like, what's going on here? So I was lucky that, and I was told, and you mentioned my older brother, Glenn. Glenn goes, hey, this is going to be a big opportunity for you because you're going to have a chance to go on and learn on the job what it means to be a professional. You go out, you work hard every day. You're going to take your lumps. It's not going to be easy, but you're not going to be expected to succeed to the level that you were going to be expected to in Miami right now. And you're also going to be close to home. So mom and dad were going to be able to come watch you play. And so it got me over the hump of getting maybe not, you look at sometimes they didn't want you, but it wasn't the case. It was San Diego wanted you a little bit more. They were getting Gary coming their way. And Randy Smith, who was with the San Diego Padres at the time, their general manager, said, we want Hoffy to come our way. And so it took a little bit. I settled in, and San Diego was a great place for me for a long time. And, man, we had some great years there too.
And we could see now that I think that's your first save with the Padres, if I'm not mistaken, in whatever year that was. Because that was 93. Because I remember the Marlins and all that, but I think it worked out pretty great for you, Hoff. I mean, they took the time with you in San Diego. Maybe in Miami they were trying to push you because they were trying to build something there quick, like they did, and then all of a sudden they exploded and sent everybody back home quick. So I think that was great. But I mean, tell us a little bit about your transformation, because when you were with the Marlins, I mean, you had a good fastball. Yes. I mean, so you were living with that fastball, and all of a sudden, you go to San Diego, you stay there for a little while with that fastball, but you develop another pitch that it became your trademark, the same way Mariano Rivera became the cutter, his trademark.
Yeah, it was kind of out of necessity. And unfortunately, it was something I did to myself. We kind of, we'll look back, and 1994 was their strike year. Yeah. And it was in August 11th. And August 12th, Trevor Hoffman was on a beach in Del Mar, California, trying to play volleyball and catch Nerf footballs in about a foot of water in the ocean, and screwed up his shoulder. And so my fastball went away, and I had to get my shoulder ultimately fixed, but it forced me to have to rely on another pitch. And fortunately, I was able to develop a changeup through a former teammate, Donnie Elliott, showed me his grip. And that's the beautiful thing about having teammates is you get to bounce ideas off of. You get to ask questions like, how do you throw this? How do you, as a hitter, what do you look for from a hitter's standpoint, what that guy features? And, how are you on time? And are you looking to go the other way? All these things as teammates, if you're constantly talking the game, which in my opinion, we don't talk enough about the game in today's game, just to learn from other experiences. I was able to, and I was fortunate to develop. And the two gentlemen we talked about earlier, Rob Dibble and the other two, Norm Charlton and Randy Myers in Cincinnati, all had out pitches. Brian Harvey had an out pitch. And I needed that equalizer pitch. I needed to learn something that would keep hitters off balance. And it wasn't going to be the fastball. Rob threw triple digits back in the day, right? And he said, hey, Atlanta turns me around like nobody's business. They hit me hard. I needed to do something other than just fastball, even though I had good location. And the changeup was the equalizer pitch that I came up with, and it allowed me to have some success in the game.
I had to say to everybody, man, that I had the opportunity to play with you, and I say in '99. And when I watch you, I say, how he do it? How he do it day in and day out? This guy, you know why he do it? Parillito, he was the first one at the ballpark. He was the last one to leave the ballpark. When I go to the ballpark, I used to get like 1:30. He already was running, pull to pull, pull to pull. Every day, you know what he used to put on? A nurse uniform. He never put a shorts and a nurse uniform, and he was running every day in there to maintain himself. And you did something, in the big leagues that is very special, because when you see the closers, there are not too many closers, so they throw 90, 91, 92. They all go up. Like that, and that changed everybody. I had somebody here today that he tell me in the afternoon. I said, please, Carlos, tell him that he can show us how he grabbed the changeup. How you grab it?
You know what? It was more of a palm ball than anything else. But honestly, it isn't necessarily the grip. It's the belief in how to throw the pitch. It's whatever's comfortable in your hand. But if you have the ability to make the pitch look like it's a fastball and it come out 10, 12, and in my good fortune at the heyday, it was about a 15-mile-an-hour difference. But if you see heater arm speed, it's hard to hit. There aren't a lot of guys in the game even today that are going to be comfortable that front to back part of the strike zone that they're not going to see. And again, I was lucky. I was kind of a worker bee. That's kind of what I needed to do to stay healthy. But hey, I would have loved to have been able to rear back and throw 95 my whole career. I would have loved to have Mariano's cutter, because he had one pitch for crying out loud and dominated the game. But I prided myself on being able to go do it every day.
And I'm pretty sure that last out felt good against the Atlanta, because Atlanta was always beating you guys up pretty well, and a lot of other teams too. So it was pretty good to see you beating the Atlanta Braves at least for once. And I remember Baerga, I was playing with Javi Lopez back home in the Winter League, and I had to enjoy that one with him. He didn't like that one that much. But HOF, it was great that you're talking about, at least for young kids that are here, even parents that are around here watching this interview, because I remember Rob Devo. You mentioned Rob Devo. He used to be triple digits, and when he got hurt, he went back Baerga to Puerto Rico and played with me in Ponce in the Winter League. He couldn't do it. He couldn't get people out without his stuff. And I'm talking, it was shocking. He was shocking. Rob, if you're listening, don't get mad. It was shocking because he used to cry. Literally, I used to give him a drive home after the games, and he would be like, I can't get people out with just trying to slider or trying to move my fastball. He just couldn't do it. And see you now and telling us about the story, because, one thing is hearing about it. The other one is hearing it from your mouth, literally. That, you got hurt, you had to reinvent it yourself. Tell people how tough that is, because people really think it's easy to say, okay, I don't have my fastball, well, I'll develop a new one, and that's it, we're done.
You don't just develop a pitch in the big leagues to get people out.
No.
It's just not normal. And what you talk about, Rob, it's not, his passion for the game is second to none. Let's say that right now. Rob Dibble loved the game of baseball. He gets a little bit misread because there are moments on the field where he kind of would lose it a little bit, but he was a great teammate. Yeah. He played the game the right way, and he wanted to compete at the highest level. And it hurt him deep when he wasn't able to do the things that he wanted to do to help the team win. It wasn't so much him. It was, he wanted to be a great teammate. And when those things don't happen, they don't line up. It's sometimes as an athlete, it's hard to make those adjustments. So, we're lucky to play the game at the highest level. And sometimes when our skills diminish, because, hey, Father Time doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's coming to get you.
He's still unbeating. He's still unbeating.
Yeah. Trevor, I want to ask you something. We've been watching the games. Me and Palito, we watch the game every day. And, to prepare to do a show every night. After this show, we're going to do another show later on. So, how difficult is to pitch the 9 innings? because it's no easy. We talk about that, and we see couple closers giving it up. How difficult it is to pick that inning, the 9th.
Well, I think it's very difficult nowadays to pitch any inning in the big leagues because we have the box. I mean, you have to throw the pitch right through the box, right? Like, the umpire knows what the box is. The hitters know what the box is, and they're very good at knowing what it is. Like, if that ball is just a hair out, ball, and then it shows up on TV, and it's a little bit off, it's like it's amazing they know that. And so don't let the robo umpire come in, because the pitcher's going to get that ball and we're going to nip the strike, so we're going to get the beat and the strike.
I know.
But as far as the 9th inning goes, I always felt like the pressure was on the offense. It was on them. We have the lead, and I'm going to apply the pressure to force you guys to maybe swing at something you don't want. I'm going to be aggressive with my 86-mile-an-hour fastball, right? And I'm going to get strike one. I'm going to try and get strike one. And if you're not quite ready, like, it was beautiful, the intro you showed, Moise Alou, right? Mo the next night hits the ball first pitch like 495 feet out of the field.
You have it, Pablito. You have it.
I did, no, that was in the intro, because I mean, I don't want to make up Moises, our buddy.
No, you don't want to get mad at you. I agree. Good move. But he's not happy with you showing that changeup swing. He wasn't happy, and he came back the next night. He showed me he wasn't happy either. And he let me know. We were both managers of the Futures game in San Diego in 2016. He said, "I win, you buy me dinner." I still owe him dinner. I'm running from Mo right now. So that being said,
but
the 9th inning is all about trying to be aggressive no matter what you have, and understand you're trying to apply the pressure to the hitter.
I mean, Trevor, it's nice that you talk about it, and we always talk about it, Baerga, because fans, of course, they're like, anybody could pitch the 9th inning. You know how analytic, sabermetric. I say, I'm sorry, not everybody could pitch the 9th inning. I mean, just because we've seen it, we've been there, even minor leagues. Not everybody could pitch the 9th inning. I mean, it's just how it is. But for you, there was a lot of talk. How can he do it? Just working with that changeup and working with his fastball. Now, I would like to ask you how you did it, how you prepare for each batter, each thing, or whatever way you guys did it, because now analytics might try to tell Trevor to be somebody else.
Honestly, I was lucky that I had a manager in Bruce Bochy who we had great communication. He knew where I stood on my health that particular day, and I knew how he was going to use me. Tony La Russa used Dennis Eckersley in a 1-inning stint for the bulk of his secondary career, we'll say. And I think Boch took a little page out of that and said, "Hey, I'm going to use you. I'm going to ride you 4 or 5 days in a row if I can. You monitor your pitches, but you got to be honest with me if you're not ready to go." And so I was lucky to have a communication line of communication with my manager, and vice versa. And so it's all about trying to be as efficient as possible. It's knowing yourself. It's knowing who's hot. Like, the analytics are a little more in depth, but I still have to be myself. I still have to pitch to my strengths versus a hitter's weakness. And if they match up strength, so be it. Here we go. Let's go do it. But I want to know who's hot. And if I go into the 9th inning and have a little wiggle room, and some guy's going to lead off the inning who's batting 500 coming out of Colorado, hey, maybe I'll be a little more careful with him. I'll go after the next guy who might not be hitting as great. And so it's just kind of the gamesmanship that you're looking for.
That's true. That's true. Brother, when you made the first All-Star game, that's the most special. You made 7, so the people know. He made 7 All-Star games. But the first one, you can tell us, when they mention your name and you went to the line, what it went through your mind?
Hey, man, all I want to do is make sure Mom saw I said, "Hi, Mom," because I felt like that was the first time I was on television, even though I'd been in the big leagues for 5 years. I wanted to make sure Mom knew I was thinking of her. So that first and foremost is always, "Hi, Mom." But honestly, I just, you don't realize until you're there, like, you pinch yourself. You're almost like, I don't know if I belong amongst the greats in the game right now. And I'm very lucky. I pinched myself, but like, hey, now we got to go play. And so I was blessed to be a part of it, of the 7 that you mentioned, Carlos. And man, it's an experience. It goes like, talk about going from 300 to 600 saves that you did in your intro. Talk about an all-star weekend. Like, the minute you land, you're everywhere and everybody's in town and your head's spinning, you're getting no sleep, and then all of a sudden the home run derby and then the game, and then you're going home. So it's the fastest 2-3 days you've ever had, and you didn't get any break. So it's crazy. But to be an all-star is something special at any stage in your career, and no matter what city it's in, and it's a blessing to be able to share that with your family as well.
So you were there 7 times, so people know. How many of those the National League won? Because you weren't able to really close games because the American League was beating you guys out all the time, looks like.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you the record, but I don't think it was very good. I know we were in a bit of a window where the American League was getting us.
Nope. Hey, but do you remember anything about that All-Star game in Milwaukee that ended up in a tie? I mean, do you guys were telling each other? Do you guys were telling each other, this is not looking good, guys? We're in the, I don't know. I don't think we're running out of players.
Well, honestly, I felt like it was a win because we tied. You know, we lost so many in a row. It's like, hey, we tied. We're getting better. Honestly, it's the home run derby. I remember Sammy hitting one over the scoreboard in center field. Yeah. It was like some of the balls that were being hit and just the atmosphere. But I knew that we were running out of players, and it just probably was going to end up in a tie. The one All-Star game I do remember was in '99 in Boston when they announced the All-Century team. We had Pedro on the mound, a lot of hype around that, and he punched out the first 6 with every God knows best and National League hitter we had, and he made us look like little leaguers there. But just the experience of being a baseball town under those circumstances, all the Hall of Famers and all the greats that were alive, Ted Williams coming out and throwing the first pitch with Tony holding them up was an amazing opportunity to be a part of.
So you wasn't I think you wasn't the best ones on the best All-Star games. You was there because that time that was, oh my God, I was watching that. It was really, really special. My friend, in 1989, you broke the record, Mark Davis. I had the opportunity to win in spring training with him, and I saw that when he got the 45, and you break that record right there. How you feel to make the San Diego Padres record for the save?
Well, I was happy because I knew the man. I know Mark, and I know what kind of teammate he was, and I knew how his teammates felt about him. And so to have the opportunity to match and pass somebody that was so revered in the Padres organization, somebody that cared about his craft and won the Cy Young doing it in the San Diego Padre uniform really meant a lot to me. And so I felt like it was a bit of a passing of the baton in the moment, and kind of the start of saying, hey, you might be okay at doing this sort of thing. Keep your head down, keep doing what you're doing, and don't look up. And, I was fortunate to be able to do that. Mark was a great teammate and a great player.
Okay, I got here the last save that you got with the Padres. I mean, that I remember I think it was broadcast everywhere when you came to do this one. I mean, by then, I guess you already knew that if I won 600, it's not going to be with the Padres. It's probably going to be with another uniform. How tough was that for you after this game? Because you still do your job like you always do. But after this game, maybe when you are with your family or sitting down somewhere thinking that, if I make the 600 club, it's going to be with a different uniform.
Yeah, I don't think you ever really want to move from where you're comfortable. And honestly, I didn't necessarily think that far. Sometimes in the game of baseball, if you start to try and play things out like how they're going to play out, that's when you get bit. And so obviously I would have loved to have finished my career in San Diego, but I was fortunate to gain his experience to what it was to be like as a Milwaukee Brewer, and to be able to get 600 as a Brewer was something very special and something I share with that community. And so I was lucky to have the best of both worlds in my eyes. Not everybody gets to write the script that they want, and it is what it is in this game, in this business. I was very aware of it, that sometimes your time might run out somewhere. And so I just kind of go back to saying, hey, I was lucky to be able to experience it in 2 different places.
What you were thinking here, man? What you were thinking, Trevor? Come on, tell us what you were thinking.
I was saying hit it to Craig Counsell beginning with to get this double play right And then I got one more out, and I'm going, you know what? You guys don't understand, because you're going to come over here and you're going to pick up that 250-pound fat ass that's way heavier than you think.
Oh my God, that was something. That's one of the biggest moments in a career for anybody. You know, to finish it up, breaking records like the way you did. You were the first one to get the 500, Palillito. And he was the first one to get the 600 in the big leagues. So I want everybody to know that. This guy right here still have the major league records. Look at this. 15 times 20 save, 14 times 30 save, and 9 times over 40 save. He still had that record in the big leagues. I know that Mariano Rivera went through, you know, and I got 645 or something like that. I think 35, something like that. He went over like that. But, you know, you did something that not too many closers did. Maybe with more years that you play with and stuff like that. And what it makes it special, you know, I was watching here. You tied the record for Randy Myers too, 53 save. You know, in one of the years too. So, you know, everything you did every day was save, be prepared, be ready for your team. This guy was a great teammate, Palillito. Great teammates, was there for everybody, and that was something that I admire for you. Your smile was there, winning or losing. Palillito, winning or losing, he always was smiling. You never see him pissed off. He was the same person. That's why you had the opportunity to say those many games, because you was cold, you know, cold body and stuff like that, you know, to go through, you know, when a tough time comes and stuff like that. How you did it? Somebody help you out, you know, mentally. Sometimes right now, you know, every organization has like 7 psychologist people in there. Do you have somebody to help you out, you know, like that?
I was fortunate, Carlos. I'll be honest with you. I had an older brother that played in the big leagues for 10 years. And he told me this is an easy profession, and you have to have thick skin, and you have to show up every day. And when the season ends, that's when you get to go home. But until then, you show up every day and you're a pro. And I was lucky to have great men around me to support the nights that weren't that special, that didn't turn out the way we wanted them to. But you come back the next day and you know that you're going to try your best as a group, and it's a job. And that part of the job you embrace. And so I get where some of the things can get hard, and it's easier. It's way easier to say it now. I mean, it's, you know, what the kids have to go through today is not easy. The scrutiny, not only from the media, but the social media component. You know, all we had to worry about is a little bit of talk radio and papers. And if you stayed away from it or didn't listen to it, you had your little bubble you could take care of. But now that you're so exposed as a player, and sometimes you can kind of listen to a little bit too much. And my recommendation would be, love on your family, keep your family close to you, keep your teammates close to you, and just trust the process. Trust what you do well, and go out and do it day in and day out. And so, you know, the numbers are great. I appreciate you saying all that. I was lucky to be around great people, and I'm lucky that I got a chance to do it, man.
All right, Trevor. I mean, it took you 3 times. I don't know how, or I don't know why, because, I mean, I know it's something we can control as a human being. The Hall of Fame vote, people, they vote the way they want to vote. But, I mean, one thing that really got me so mad, and I just want to tell you, because I fought with a lot of people. I've been doing this for a while, and I kept fighting with people. I kept fighting with some people that they're my buddies, and then afterward, they understood what I was saying. Because they kept saying, I mean, how could he be Hall of Famer or a true Hall of Famer, Trevor Hoffman, if he had trouble in the playoff? And I'm thinking, so of course, a guy that doesn't make the playoff, you guys don't use that against him. But a guy that makes it to the playoff probably doesn't have a good one. Are we going to use that against him? How in the world? I mean, that's not fair. And I heard people talking about, no, what's the deal? Oh, he was in San Diego. The team wasn't that bad. People think that because you're playing a bad team, the save is still not important for that day. I mean, you are winning the game. I mean, so I got very mad, Trevor. I don't know how you felt that you had to wait 3 years. I don't know why. But how was that moment? Because we got a little video here. How was that moment when you finally got that call?
Well, honestly, the call is amazing. But I will say that most of your colleagues that might be giving you a bunch of crap, they weren't staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning when I was getting it done every day, day in and day out. They saw the 12 playoff games I stunk, and I get what they think. I'm not very good, but that's okay if you look at some of the numbers that I was able to get it done. But to be able to get Jack O'Connell, the president of the Baseball Writers Association, to call, and to have a ton of family and friends around, it gives me goosebumps to see the video you guys are showing. The lady right there in the middle, in the yellow, was my mom. We lost.
Wow.
We got you, man. We got you. We're with you.
Yeah, we're with you, bro.
We lost my mom in January to COVID.
Wow.
And she had the opportunity to let me go into the Hall of Fame and be a part of it and see it. And
wow.
I think that's kind of why we're able to have so many people, honestly, around that time, because the first year I didn't think I had a shot either.
Come on.
And then on the third year, I felt like one way or the other, it was not about really me going in. It was going to be an opportunity to honor my mom and my dad, who wasn't able to be there, to just say thank you for their support.
Wow. No, hey, brother, this is the kind of heart this guy has. That's why I talk very highly about him, because that's the way he was for his teammate too. Always. He fight for the teammates too, because that kind of person that you was. Let me tell you something. You know what? You're a Hall of Famer because you work hard every day. While you went through with that accident that happened with your shoulder and pitch, change from the hard thrower to be, know a hard thrower to know how to pitch, to did it, the way you did it is special. Look at the major league records. I said 3 already, but when I look, there are more. He got the more save in the National League, 601 in the National League. Most consecutive season with at least 40 save, 4 in the National League. More season with at least 40 save, 9 that I said before. Most strikeout per 9 inning by a reliever. That's something without throwing over 91. Listen to that, guys. Without throwing over 91, 9.36 in 9 innings, and the most career game pitched in one team in the National League, 902. This guy was a Hall of Famer, man, for our life, for us.
And Baerga, to add to what you're saying, at least I just met Trevor through the interview and before the interview. And my respect, of course, is through the roof with him all the time. But definitely Hall of Fame parents and family. Hall of Fame parents and family, because I could see it on you, Trevor, since the beginning. We were talking about growing up. You mentioned your brothers, you mentioned your parents, and you, growing up like that, it's a blessing. So you've been blessed. You said that you from, the area close to Disneyland. Well, you really had Disney family with you the whole time, because your family was always with you. There was a lot of love, I could tell. Keep enjoying your time in the Cape. I don't know, Jessica, we might have to drive around there tomorrow or something. but keep having fun with your family, man. And for me, Baerga, it's an honor to have you here tonight, my man.
I really appreciate this tonight, guys. It was a pleasure getting to spend some time with you, reflect on the glory days. It always baffles me that I was able to play such a beautiful game for as long as I did and watch some of the young talent that's playing the game today. I just don't know how I was able to be a part of that at times, but the time that we played was special. We had great moments. We had great teammates, and I love the game. And I know that it's a game meant to be played by the youth, and it's about the player today. And I'm super excited. The state of our game, it's continually getting better. The players are getting better. Just hope we can all embrace it.
Awesome. Trevor, when the Major League Baseball announce every year the National League best reliever, the trophy is on the name of Trevor Hoffman. How do you feel about that?
It's incredible to know in perpetuity that your name's going to be a part of an award, especially next to Mariano, who represents the American League award. It's special. It's validation for a career that you spent trying to do the right thing, to respect the game, to go hard at it, and know that there's guys chasing you, that want to be a part of that. And there's great closers in the game now with Craig Kimbrell coming along.
Yeah.
And Kenley Jansen with the Dodgers. These guys are tremendous closers in the game, not to mention some of the younger guys that have tremendous stuff. But over time and longevity, that's part of it as well. So I enjoy watching the next generation. I enjoy the way they go about their business. And I know how hard it is. It's not an easy thing what they're doing.
Well, I mean, Baerga, I don't have nothing else for Trevor. I mean, this is amazing. Great, Baerga, take it over. You say bye to Trevor.
Brother, I want to say God bless you. God bless you and your family. And let me say to everybody, he's in Boston right now because I think he's going to be a grandpa. You're going to be in the next couple of days?
No. Okay. I hope not. You know something I don't know.
So yeah, he's in Boston with his son and stuff like that. But nothing. God bless you. All the best for you, my friend. And you know what? Thank you. Thank you for being here with us, with the Puerto Rico people and people all over the place that we have.
I do appreciate it. You're a great ambassador for your country, Carlos. You were a great ambassador for all the teams you played for. I'm actually in the Cape Cod watching my youngest son play for the YD Red Sox in Cape Cod. That's why we're here. So it's a blessing to be able to watch my kid carry on the tradition of playing baseball and have a good time with it. And man, it's a good time. I appreciate you having me on tonight.
All right, my man. Thank you. Have a good night and God bless you, my man.
God bless, guys.
God bless.
All right. Bueno, señores, ahí teníamos a Trevor Hoffman, el segundo mejor cerrador de la historia ya, señores, del béisbol de la Grandes Ligas, y podemos añadir del mundo, porque en Japón nadie cerraba juegos como lo ha hecho Mariano y Trevor Hoffman tampoco. Así que, señores, espero que hayan disfrutado esto, ¿verdad? Que sepan quién es Trevor Hoffman, porque mucha gente se queda con lo de Mariano, pero Mariano estaba con los Yankees y Trevor que estaba con San Diego, pues tú sabes, necesitaba, ¿verdad? Ese empuje de la gente, que la gente supiera, y como él dijo, Baerga, los juegos se acaban a las 11, 12 de la noche, pues claro, usted no veía a Trevor Hoffman, pero salvar un juego, Baerga, que es lo que yo siempre digo, a mí no me importa si tu equipo tiene 40 victorias y 60 derrotas, si el juego que viene hoy está para salvarse, el juego significa algo, el juego que tú tienes que dar 3 outs importantes, no es que porque tú seas San Diego, pues cualquier out es cualquiera.
Parillito, de verdad que este hombre tenía una sangre fría, iba a la loma todos los días, cuando tenía que usarlo nunca lo vi decir que no, nunca me duele el brazo, estoy aquí para ayudar, y él tiene todos los récords de la Nacional. Todos los récords de la Nacional los tiene él, de un cerrador. Mariano Rivera, aquí mismo lo estoy viendo, lo tiene en la Americana. De verdad que es impresionante, el 1 y 2, por eso los dos son los trofeos.
Y creo, Baerga, si no me equivoco, si lo tienes por ahí, si no me equivoco, yo creo que él tiene récord de más juegos terminados. Yo creo que son 856. Algo así, 856. En la Nacional también él tiene ese récord.
Tiene récord de Most Carries Against Pitch with One Team, que es 902. No, este hombre tiene todos los récords de la Nacional. Salvado en la Nacional, 601. Se hizo con 20 salvados, con 30 salvados, 14 y con sobre 49. De verdad que impresionante. Salvó 14 años consecutivos, 30 juegos.
No, te digo, el tipo, señores, si usted lo llegó a ver jugar, pues ya usted sabe lo que era, pero los jovencitos, eso, mire, pues búsquelo por ahí y miren lo que él vivió por irse a jugar voleibol en la playa y robar la pita un rato, se terminó lastimando el hombro por completo. Y ya, eso es un buen consejo para usted. Si todavía usted está haciendo algo, va camino a algo, no lo ha logrado por completo, lleva 2 o 3 añitos haciéndolo nada más, pero usted quiere durar 10 o 12 años haciéndolo, pues mire, asegúrese donde usted va, ¿verdad? A disfrutar. A veces vamos a disfrutar, ¿verdad? Y sin darnos cuenta nos montamos una motora, en un triciclo, en algo nos montamos y decimos, wow, mano, eso está brutal. Y después cuando llegas a tu casa te das cuenta, wow, si yo me llego a caer, porque, Baerga, yo lo hice un par de veces cuando estaba en las menores, iba al yunque, y tú sabes que el yunque hay unos áreas que tú trepas las piedras y te tira. Y después yo llegaba casi y decía, ay, vine, si yo me llego a dar un cantazo se me va la carrera. No tengo ni oportunidad de llegar a nada. Pero es cosa, ¿verdad? Que consejos que le estamos dando y lógico, pues, vemos los padres que tuvo, definitivamente, señores. Él no llora por llorar, no llora porque fue un mal hijo, sino porque él sabe la situación, lo que eran sus padres, su papá y su mamá para ellos en esa familia. y lógico, perderlo por COVID, Baerga, que no es una enfermedad que ella tenía o algo, sino es algo que de momento llegó más fuerte todavía, así que nuestras oraciones con esa familia.
Impresionante su carrera, algo único, su corazón, como le dije a ustedes, impresionante. Oye, 2.87 de efectividad en su carrera, 1.137 ponches, 601 juegos salvados y sin tirar sobre 90 millas, salvar todos esos juegos. Cuando hay buenos bateadores en Grandes Ligas, por eso le digo, no es tirar duro, es tener corazón y saber lanzar la oportunidad que te dan. Parillito,